Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to UTR presents The Raw Deal. What's going on, Betty? She's crying because of the picture that was on screen during our pre-show. You might have missed it, Cookies, but I can put it up again real quick.
It's just Mongo's jelly roll.
Today we have our boy, the man who leads the NWO, the final Matty. What's going on, Matt?
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody had themselves a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I had myself a great mini vacation. So, yeah, I hope everybody still has their fingers and all that. We had a very, very momentous Money in the Bank. And we had a really, really great Heatwave that very shocking ending, to say the least. Now we're going to...
Shocking is far from it. Shocking is far from
very shocking ending, but the whole Toronto weekend was very great. Just overall, they started it off with SmackDown, with DIY becoming the new tag champ, so that was awesome. And then on top of that, I mean, they did a lot because that was the icing. SmackDown and NXT, Money in the Bank was good. I like Money in the Bank, but it was just it brought back it like, honestly, to me.
Wait, what?
Before we even get into Heatwave, it felt like this was the first time in forever where an NXT show outperformed the main roster. So that's what everybody is happy about. You saw someone strap a bottle rocket to Oh. Now, unfortunately, I heard about a dumbass who got killed because he got the firework and he was, I guess, playing around with it by his head or in front of his kids and everybody, and bye-bye.
Dummy.
So that's where I thought that story was about to go with the bottle rocket.
His bottle rocket story went round and round, clearly. And folks, if you don't know who I am still your double champion. That's right. Still double champion. Saturday night, I won flat out. Sunday, I retained through a tie. A win is a win, baby. I'll take it how I can get it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Thankfully.
Reggie, you might be the only person that wasn't shocked, because if you'd have seen the podcast chat, because my feed is like maybe 10 to 15 seconds faster than what the guys is, I sent in the chat, oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a great ending, but before we even get into that, we might as well just talk about Money in the Bank first.
Oh no, before we even get into that, there has been a release from WWE. Matt Damon.
Damon Kemp.
Oh, I'm sorry. Matt Damon Kemp. I used the boy's real name and put it together with his fake name because that's how shitty he was. Damon Kemp, the other, Gable Stevenson's brother. Yeah, he got fired. Yeah. All right. End of that. Now, Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he got fired. Basically, all that was he was hired as a favor for his brother. He sadly outperformed his brother, which isn't really much to say. But basically, everything we saw that happened on NXT with him getting replaced, that was essentially him getting fired on TV. So. Goodbye.
I was getting ready to say
goodbye, Damon Kemp. You will not be missed. Dave Meltzer also reports that there are more to come. So I'm crossing my fingers that it is Eddie Ford.
But Cookies, when it comes to OGs, it's me and Reggie. We're the only ones here that was no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Me and Reggie are the only people here within this podcast and this.
That's why Katie said season.
That's exactly why I call Cookie season.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Exactly why I call Cookie, and that's why I said no. I definitely am not.
Oh,
I definitely am not. Me and Reggie are considered the OGs because we the only ones who was actually born when Reagan was still president.
One of the appropriate terms for season instead of
Kenny's version of the term season, the real version of the term season means a little mature. That's
like LeBron James is the most seasoned player in the NBA.
Right, that version.
Oh,
the way I use it.
Go.
Hey, Kanisha, how you doing?
But
yeah. Let's get into Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank kicked off with the actual Money in the Bank match, and
yeah, it was not a good night for NWO
at all. We had 18 people in that fucking match and still lost.
It was an awesome weekend for DX, but the season doesn't end until April, so it'd be just our luck.
Right.
Well, it'll be even again.
Exactly, Reggie. I remember when it was East and West Germany. Exactly.
Yeah, that wall was getting torn down when I was one.
Yeah. No, I watched that shit get. I saw that shit on my television on the news, looking at my mama like, "Why they tearing this wall down, ma? What's going on?" Yeah.
I had to learn about it.
Batty, I will be 43 next month. Okay.
Yeah,
I am not.
The wall being torn down is their 9/11. 9/11 is my 9/11.
Nah, 9/11 is 9/11. Damn it! I was in college. Fuck that. I wasn't old then. I was only a sophomore in college. I still had the team after my age when 9/11 came the fuck down.
I was in 8th grade. I was 13. I was just entering teen.
Actually, no, I was fucking 20. Shit. I just turned 20 the month before 9/11. Son of a bitch. God damn it.
And Cookies was in kindergarten, see?
God damn, Cookies. Shut up.
Cookies. So
get
Cookies
off our
like
chat.
30. Cookies like 30 then.
Cookies 12. The first match. Batty, don't do that. Don't do that, Batty.
Batty was a baby.
Batty, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Batty. Don't do that. All right, Kanisha, you up here with us old folks. All right, at least you was in high school. Bet. Well, let's get to Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank. The first match was the actual Money in the Bank ladder match. We had Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, and L.A. Knight. Now, me and Mongo made a joke. Did Andrade have extensions in his hair? I don't ever remember this man's hair being that long and then looking like a Mexican version of Rocker Seth.
I don't know what's up with Andrade. Like, who knows? The match, it was a good ass match, and the way it ended. Like, honestly, going into it, I really did not see Drew McIntyre winning. But after he won, it said, because I already had it made up in my mind, whoever won Money in the Bank was not going to cash in successfully. Not after we just saw Damian Priest cash in at WrestleMania. Like, nah.
Right. But NWO figured we'd be at least win the goddamn what you call it. We'd at least win the briefcase, and then we'd have NWO and NWO Crime for the points.
Right.
No.
So like Drew, like the MVPs of that match were all the people that were basically is anybody that didn't win. Carmelo Hayes showed the fuck out.
That man showed the fuck out so much he had a coco on his goddamn head in the interview afterward. That man had a baby Carmelo Hayes growing out of his forehead. Like, and that shit was a knot in red. It was like, damn.
Like, he was talking that shit after he lost the match. He did an interview. And then someone, Carmelo be on Twitter. So somebody was like, they decided to quote tweet him and say, can we admit that Carmelo is overrated? He decided to hit them back at 10:40 this morning and said, underrated, overrated. You ain't ever been rated as shit in your whole life, my boy.
That hurts. That hurts.
Then MJF responded to him, was like, Mello, for the love of God, it's not even noon. He said kitchen's open 24 hours if they want to get cooked. You know that. But Mello would let people know during that match. Yeah, I might not have won, but I am still him. Because
Mello is the Kevin Durant of the wrestling twin.
He really is. He's just sitting there like.
Except Mello ain't got no burner account like KD. Oh my God. But we had a couple of dope spots in that match. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. At one point, I thought they might have let Chad Gable win, especially when his ass was hanging on. I said, are they really gonna let Gable win? This would be kind of dope if they did. And no. Did not happen. Isn't happening. Gable died. And we got Drew McIntyre climbing the ladder and claiming the belt. Surprisingly, this match was only 16 minutes long. That is short for a Money in the Bank ladder match.
It was
very, very short.
Like, it went by quickly, but they did a lot in that 16 minutes. Like, they really did a lot. Carmelo took the brunt of it. Carmelo and Andrade got destroyed. That's what they were there for.
Yeah, and Chad Gable. Chad Gable took a lot of deaths too. Chad gave out some deaths too with some suplexes from some heights that shouldn't have been done. He
suplexed the ladder. That was my favorite part. When he suplexed the ladder and just basically just threw it at somebody. I was like, oh my God. All right.
I'm not calling him that.
Now, when he was on NWO, when he used to actually get points instead of just sit out here and just look stupid, I would be like, oh, here come what I call Bit Daddy Drew, because he was still trying to act like he was Bit Daddy Cool Diesel, but I ain't gonna call him Bit D, but I know he wasn't. As soon as he won, I'm like, all right, CM Punk, where you at? Where you at, Phil? Where you at, old man Punk?
Right.
Because I'm
this is one of the few times.
Hold up.
This is one of the few times where I didn't mind Phil being in the building. Our next matchup was a really, 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 really good matchup. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Sami retained, but this match, if you never seen what Braun Breaker can do, this match was your introduction, and that man literally is his father and uncle morphed into one person.
Man, literally. That match, he came out and they debuted a whole new theme for this man, whole new presentation. Like, there you go. We letting y'all know, like, y'all just saw Mello show out. Now y'all gonna see his contemporary in Braun, the guys that basically carried NXT for the last 3 years, 2-3 years.
Exactly.
And it's like, well, damn. Like, at one point, I was sitting up here like, Braun's really gonna beat this dude. Braun gonna beat him. But Sami, like Sami, in true Sammy fashion. Like, I'm not gonna get mad. Some people are like, ugh, I hate it. They're making him, they're keeping this rocky run going because when he loses, he gonna lose.
I'm surprised that they did let him win in Toronto. Like, okay, he had his moment already. Like, that's enough. Like, I was totally surprised that Braun did not win that.
It just tells me that SummerSlam, bye-bye Intercontinental title. You about to lose your title in Cleveland. Not no Toronto.
Cleveland. Terrible. This match lasted 13 minutes and 15 seconds. Our next matchup, dead smack in the middle of the show, because it was only a 5-match show. Was not expecting this to be dead smack in the middle of the show, but okay. I mean, shit happens. We have your world champion, El Champion, Damian Priest, a.k.a. Sexual Taker.
Oh, yeah, the cunty taker.
Versus
bisexual Undertaker.
Versus Seth, I Got Fat Rollins.
Seth been eating.
What? Big back ass motherfucker. Seth got fat. I don't care. Seth got fat.
Seth getting old. That's all. That just telling
that man is
finally. I was like, that's just telling me that Seth that he's getting old.
Seth finally getting that dad bod. That's what that is.
Oh, Roman. That's why Roman always in the gym. Roman got a bunch of kids. Seth got one.
I noticed. See, that's the thing. I noticed when you got a bunch of kids, like myself, you tend to stay in shape because you got to keep up with all these motherfuckers. That's what it is. It's like, yo, you're doing too much. Sit your ass. When you got like one or two, you can be lazy, and you can get that fatness on you. When you got a bunch, you always running and doing something. So,
that man, he got operated on, and they were like, yeah, just rest and recover. And he was like, "Oh,
show you right." The man said, "Show you right." That's what happened.
He was like Uber Eats. Let me get all the donuts. Let me get all.
That whole side of the wall. Just give me all those donuts. Like,
that's right. Shh. Don't say my name.
Right. Then we got. Like I said, it started off as a regular one-on-one matchup with Damian Priest versus Seth. But then, like we all know, and like we said, Drew decided to cash in. Now, don't get me wrong.
The biggest fuck up.
Now, don't get me wrong. Seth is actually your world champion.
Yeah, if they had counted.
It's clear that, because I had mentioned to you guys before that fuck up even happened, I say, yo, why is Damian Priest continuously looking up at the ramp? Like, since the minute
Damian Priest was supposed to kick out, or Drew's music was supposed to hit during the count, which would have interrupted the count because the referee is going to be like 1, 2, what the hell? Like,
right.
What is going on? And they're like, oh, here comes Drew. But either the guy in either production didn't hit Drew's music quick enough, or somebody was ahead of something, and it just threw the whole match off. But thank God that referee just went 1, 2. Oh, he kicked out.
Everybody looking like, no, he didn't. He's still laying there. He ain't kicked out of shit. And we get Drew McIntyre coming down, it now becomes a triple threat with Drew cashing in. I'm not gonna lie. For a hot second, until Phil ass showed up, I was like, nah, they really letting Drew beat their asses out here. He might actually win, yo. Hold on.
I was sitting up there like, I summon you, old man Punk. Where are you at? I know you here, Phil. I know you here.
Wolverine, where's your ass at? And sure enough, CM Punk comes out, distracts him, which you could, and we get Damian Priest retaining. NWO got some points out the fucking night. Thank you. We got some points out the night. Drew and Wade Barrett are going to jump CM Punk. All right. Because Wade Barrett has had it up to here with CM Punk's tactics. And I actually I said, yo, is Wade Barrett, like, did he leave because of injury? And man told me, no, he healthy. I'm like, oh, yeah, they about to jump his ass. They are officially about to jump his ass. Don't be surprised if we get Wade Barrett as a...
when he became a commentator. I'm like, you can still wrestle.
Don't be shocked if we get Wade Barrett as a quote-unquote manager for Drew or somebody to look out for him coming up. Don't be shocked if that happens. And being that this was a world championship match, which turned into a triple threat match, this match wasn't even 15 minutes.
I'm not shocked. That show felt like it dragged for some reason though. Like all these matches when we were saying the times, it's like that wasn't 15 minutes. It sure did feel like it was longer than that because I think it was just because we were waiting on the inevitable. We're like, all right, hurry up, Drew. We know what's about to happen. Like y'all doing all this, but we know what's about to happen.
Right. You know what I find funny too? And I gotta say thank you to Triple H and HBK. Thank you for giving us pay-per-views with a solid 5 to 6 matches that don't end at past 10, 15, 10, 30. Tripp said, listen, it's a Saturday night. It's the summertime. Yeah, I won't be in here till midnight. I don't want to be here till midnight. We're going to let y'all out by like 10, 15, 10, 20. Y'all good? We good. All right, go to the bars.
The way he does everything is not every title, not every feud needs to be on pay-per-view. You can have shows, you can have feuds, and you can have feuds have a build-up to SmackDown, like we had DIY and A-Town Down Under. Right. If that was Vince, that would have been a pre-show match, and we would have been complaining that, why they put DIY and A-Town Down Under as the tag team title match on the pre-show.
Right. Make it the main event for SmackDown, like they did.
That would have been a decent, like, that whole weekend, everything they do now is all about just selling. You want people to go to SmackDown in Toronto? All right. Give them a title match. You want people, they're going to Money in the Bank for Money in the Bank. So there's 2 of those. They want to see the world. They're going to get a world championship match. So there's that match. Then they got to see Cody. So boom. They got to see the Bloodline. Boom, boom, boom. Like they're doing everything they need to do. They're doing just the most important stuff for the pay-per-views, which more often than not, when it was under Vince, we would only really care about 5 matches, 6 tops. So now they're just like, instead of giving you bullshit, we just gonna trim the fat, put it on Raw and SmackDown, and here's the main course. And if we feel like being nice, we might give you a match on the pre-show.
Maybe. Next up after that, we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Naomi, and Zoe Starks, with our winner being Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy time, baby. Tiffy
Tiffy time,
titty.
and that crowd loved them some Tiffy. I don't know if y'all went over it on Friday, but somebody asked her over, as going into Money in the Bank. Somebody asked her about the video that she shared, and she said flat out it was a mistake. She's like, I didn't hear the audio before she shared it. She said once she heard that audio, she's like, oh no, this is to go down. So she was like that. She was like, I didn't get in trouble for they instantly. She was like, I took it down as soon as I saw I heard what it said. But hey, her winning Money in the Bank shows hey, obviously that had no bearing on her standing, and the rocket is strapped to her. I honestly thought it would be Naomi because I'm like, man, y'all had Naomi went over to Impact. She went to TNA. She won their title. When she gonna get something? But
Naomi's about to get something now.
Right. Supposedly they
are introducing the women's U.S. title belt and the women's intercontinental belt. The main roster women are finally getting their mid-card belts.
Yeah, so I called that a few weeks ago, I think it was a few weeks ago. I was on here saying
you called that shit the minute that they announced the North American title.
Yeah, because I kept saying it's don't be shocked when the main roster the main roster women get a mid card belt, because if they're doing it in the minor leagues, the developmental system, that just means they're testing it out to see if it will work on the main roster. And it's like, all right.
Actually, Batty, we don't have too many belts. If you really want to know the truth, we really don't. Because what we do is we actually have belts for each brand.
That's literally
what we have.
Because instead of it being like AEW, because even I thought about it, I was on that baddie side for about 3 minutes, and I had to really think about it. And I was like, okay, we're starting to get to too many belts territory. But the brand split is actually being ran by people that have common sense for the first time, i.e. Triple H. But so every brand is just going to get one new belt. The best thing they're doing is making sure that NXT does not have anything else extra. The women don't have that. That's the bad part about it is the men have a lot of mid card. The women don't got nothing. The women just for the longest just had a women's title. Right. Then they finally gave them the tag titles.
Tag titles, which was supposed to go across all brands, and then it just got stuck.
Where they messed up was coming up with the NXT women's tag titles, and you heard me complain about that from the get-go. They finally merged those back together, because that's when I was like, we got too many belts. That's one too many. But they brought the mid-card belt, which for NXT, I always say it as the NXT expert, they have a lot of women there, and they only got that one belt. It's just like the men. For the men for the longest, they had that one NXT title, and they didn't have anybody to do anything. Y'all, hey, be safe. Be safe, Cookies.
Cookies, be safe. Be safe. You know it.
But yeah, it's like that. It feels like it's gonna be. It feels like it's too many belts. But the way that Triple H goes about with presenting everybody,
make them earn it, Cookies.
It's not going to feel clustered.
Make them earn it. Make them earn it. You like lobster. Remember that. What you're absolutely right, Matt. It's not too many belts yet, and like you were saying, the main reason why it's not too many belts is because, like you said, it's each brand is being run as a separate entity. You know, like with AEW, the problem with AEW is everything is being bunched together.
Right.
So it's like you have literally 4 mid-card titles just with different names. You know what I mean? So that's the problem. That's the problem with AEW.
And they all get presented the same way. Like in AEW, at least, like in that same 2 hours for AEW, we're going to get an international championship,
being a part of your community,
a TNT title, like all that shit going to get thrown at us. But if it's WWE, they're going to be like, here's the world champion and here's the mid-card champion in different hours. AEW be like, nah, we're going to give them all to you at 8 o'clock.
Right. Batty, we love being a community here. We love that you're a part of it as well. Trust us.
Oh, yeah. That's my girl.
Right. It makes total sense for them to have a female because let's get into the women's Money in the Bank match before we get into let's stay on track with the women's Money in the Bank match. I got one question.
More on Thursday or even tomorrow.
Right.
Sure.
Why was Zoe Stark trying to kill herself?
I don't know what the fuck Zoe Stark was trying to do. I'm glad she tweeted out that she was alive because when she did that, y'all in the chat was like, what the hell? And I looked up and then I went on Twitter and saw it back and I was like,
I just want to know why she was trying to kill herself. Like, I understand you trying to go for the spot so that way people can know your name, but baby girl, you almost died.
She was about to be
right. You was going deafened. Like you landed on your neck twice. Like, baby girl, calm down.
I mean,
you've been on the PLE before. You've been on the PLE before.
Zoe to hang out. She need to train with Chelsea Green. She need just Chelsea teach her.
Chelsea Green was the star of the show and of the weekend. Chelsea took every major bump. The crowd wanted Chelsea Green. Mongo sent us this. I'm going to read it real quick.
Yeah.
Per Fightful Select. This past weekend, Chelsea Green went into WWE's Money in the Bank as number 2 in the Bet Online odds, but left number 1 in the hearts of many in defeat. While she already maintained a positive reputation backstage, several within WWE reached out to Fightful over the weekend to sing her praises. One area of particular interest was Chelsea Green's promotion of the match itself. WWE officials Sean Ross Sapp spoke with said that not only did she do local media, but she headed to Toronto midweek to do it. In addition, she heavily promoted the event and match itself on social media. Hardly a surprising situation, but also we're told that Green was very comfortable taking the bump to end the match and treated it like a no big deal situation. Those we heard from were very happy at how it all unfolded and said that she took the spot as safely as possible. Yep. She's all right, Batty. You know what's funny? Because Chelsea Green, we all know Chelsea Green is known to be injury prone.
Right.
So the fact that she took that shit and was cool, that's a win in itself.
I honestly, like, the injury she was getting was just, they were just some like, damn, you just got bad luck. And ever since she's been
like, did
bad.
she break her arm? Didn't she break her arm like 6 times or something in a row?
Yeah.
It was literally like twice in a row. Like she broke it and then re-broke it like the first time back.
Yeah, like she came back from injury and in the first match back, she like broke the other one. And it's like, well, shit.
You're right. Like, damn, girl. Like,
but like when she fell, like I think she has stunt woman experience. I don't know, but I like when she took that spot, she looked like a stunt woman she took that so perfect. Like
she was like,
and then
crash.
she grabbed the back of her head perfectly. Like, yep, I ain't about to be concussed.
Listen, you know what I'm enjoying a lot more, and I didn't realize I was missing it until it became fun again. The entertainment part of sports entertainment. And right now, I can honestly say WWE is giving us a very good blend of sports entertainment. We're getting matches like DIY, but yet we're getting backstage segments where A-Town Down is ready to kill each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm enjoying the entertainment aspect of it. Like the women's Money in the Bank match. Tiffy showed the fuck out. If you didn't know who Tiffy Time was before, you definitely know it now. She showed the fuck out, which is why she won.
NXT 2.0.
Right. You know what I mean? She showed the hell out. If you don't know who she is, you definitely do now. And the Chelsea Green spot, pure entertainment. Chelsea was the comic relief of the match, but yet not a comic relief.
Right. She was the crowd favorite. She was like
right.
the second crowd favorite. Like they love Tiffy, but they're like, if y'all give it to Chelsea Green, we will be just as happy.
we might even be happier if you gave it to her. Honestly. Chelsea Green is tough, man. Like and she put on a hell of a show. She did her damn thing. Let's get to our last matchup of the night, as we all know, was the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and surprisingly, after I got Mongo to change his goddamn question, Jacob Fatu, they found a way to get this nigga across the border.
And it was real life. It was
real life pulled some strings to get him across the border.
It was confirmed they did have to talk. They did have to talk to Canadian officials to convince them to let Jacob Fatu over, because they don't play that shit in Canada.
Canada don't want no felons. Canada, listen, Canada, if you've never been to Canada, I'm going to tell you this right now. Canada is a beautiful country. It's a real cool place to hang out. And they are mad chill. They ain't trying to have no felons sneak up in there. They don't want no parts of that.
Like, think about what's all in Canada. Like, all the stuff that's illegal here, just becoming legal here, is already legal there. So they're like, you are not coming up here fucking up our stuff.
Right. Reggie, Mongo going off. Oh, he called me all types of names. All types of fucking names. He called me a bastard. He called me a dwarf, a gnome. Just you name it, Mongo called me. Yeah.
Except Craven. Yeah. We don't call him no Craven.
Right. He ain't call me a Craven or a nigga. So
see, I knew Batty. That's why I said it. I already knew Batty was gonna ask. See, I be ahead.
No, he ain't call me none of those.
I already knew Batty was gonna ask. See.
Listen, Mongo ain't gonna never do that. He'll call me a lot of things, but he ain't gonna never do that. First off, he be talking about himself. I put in the chat, literally word for word. Oh shit, Greg Bush gonna be mad. He had to change the bonus questions. I told him Jacob couldn't get in, and Jacob was there. Mongo's first response was, "Kenny, you fucking bastard." If I wasn't cross-faded like a motherfucker, I'd give you a swift kick in the sack.
I was pissed just off of, I'm like, see, I'm like, I don't know why he mad.
He called me an ingrown gooch hair.
He started Solo, God, and Jacob. So That
got
match
all the points.
literally put them in second place. That was 24 fucking points. Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, he called me a gooch hair. But surprisingly enough, that's one of the nicest things Mongo's ever said to me. He's called me a lot worse. So the gooch hair, I didn't mirror your mind too much. I even told him, "Oh, you miss me." But so we had I guess this is what the in-ring debut of Jacob Fatu for real, pretty much. And
that shows you that way they got him across the border. They basically said he is integral to our story. We need this man to be across the border.
And here's the thing about it. I've seen Jacob Fatu. I've watched his show. I've watched his matches on YouTube. I've watched his matches in person. As a fan of Jacob Fatu, I was not impressed of what he did during this matchup because I know he was slowed down tremendously. And there was a spot where a lot of people are having an issue with, where Jacob pretty much no-sold the Randy Orton draping DDT.
I saw everybody saying they loved that part. That part was cool.
Now, I've seen a lot of people saying that, how if Will Ospreay no-sell something, people are ready to have a heart attack, but Jacob Fatu can do it because he's in WWE.
That's just some AEW diehards doing that because
my thing is this.
It just put over that how sadistic and crazy.
I was getting ready to say that, Matt. They are building this man as a beast, as something that is unstoppable. You're not going to be able to hurt him with your mere mortal moves. You're going to have to put like 8 tranquilizers in him. That's how they're building this man.
As soon as he showed up, I was happy because I've seen Jacob Fatu, everything he's done, like being in MLW, and everything he's done in the Indies. I know what he can do, and he was doing all that bigger. Now he's like my size, and he's doing all this. He still has the strength. I loved it because it's just like, all right, I said it from the get-go. He is the Umaga that Solo isn't.
Yeah, he's
as much as they tried to make Solo the Umaga of the bloodline, when he initially debuted, he crazy. Solo crazy. And now he out here. That's why I keep calling him Death Row Bloodline, because he's Solo Suge Knight. All right, you want to be Solo Suge Knight. You want to be the mastermind, because he said it after they won. Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. All right, so you want to be the leader. That's Suge Knight.
You're going to need goons.
Tupac. Umaga is
going to need
Jacob.
You're going to need goons.
Like, the rest of them are death row. You either get with them or they going to beat your ass. And he is literally Umaga reincarnated. That man is the Samoan werewolf. Umaga was the Samoan bulldozer. Man, they was niggas.
Right, pretty much.
And them two, and Roman's brother were the 3 niggas of that generation. He is them.
Exactly, Reggie. Either get down or lay down. Plain and
simple. He is like, he no-sold that, and even Randy is like, because Randy is like, yeah, I know I beat his ass. And he's sitting up there like,
all right, Randy went down for the move to get ready to hit the RKO. Randy said, hey, oh.
And he looked at like, I was waiting on you at the door.
Right. Randy looking at him like, oh.
For breakfast, dude. What's up? I'm like, oh yeah, Randy, you about to die.
I think what I'm most disappointed about Jacob showing is how little time he spent in the actual ring. That's what I'm most disappointed. They let Tama spend a lot of time in the ring. And I'm a big Tama fan. Y'all know that. Like, Tama's one of my alter egos.
They probably did that on purpose.
But what I don't like is they right. He damn sure it was. So it's like what I don't like what they're doing with Tama right now is they're showing a conflicting character with Tama.
I don't know what
Tama,
they want with him.
Right, like Tama, they have him. Yeah, I'm the crate. He's the Tasmanian devil of the crew, like just crazy spider monkey. But at the same time, he be getting his ass whipped.
I feel like
the crazy spider monkey shouldn't be getting his ass whipped.
I feel like now that Jacob Fatu is there, that's got to be him. Like all that got to go to Jacob Fatu, and they got to let Tama just be Tama. But see, the bad part about it, if you think about it, and as soon as I say it, and you go agree instantly. Everybody that's around him, except for Camacho, who I hope he is okay, because his kabong, he got destroyed. Everybody was talking about him for missing the low blow. His head hit the back of that desk. And somebody on Twitter, they was like, he's showing like fencing. He did the tour. And I looked back and I was like, oh, like his head.
When his head hit that fucking table, he was not expecting to hit that table.
Right.
For a minute, his body locked up. He hit the
he just sat there and locked up.
And I was like, oh. Man,
So that's why he ended up right. That's why he missed the low blow.
Nah, hold on. Nah.
Then he hit Tama in the head.
No, hold on. I'm not giving him that, bro. He ass punched KO. He punched this nigga in the ass. He punched this nigga in the ass like Scary Movie Part 1. Where Sydney went to run away and the nigga ass punched her. Like he hit her with the Deuce Bigelow. You give me $10. Punched her in the ass. Like he ass punched KO first. And then his low blow went too far and this motherfucker hit Tama in the fucking forehead. Like, damn. Like, and the sad part about it is that's been the issue that everyone has been talking about, that especially fans of GOD and stuff like that, on how Tonga Loa is definitely the weaker wrestler out them.
The bad part about that is because they want us to be convinced that Solo is this new leader, that he is the new leader. But the bad part about it, because back to my point, besides Tonga, everybody else, even Paul, all of them cut better promos than Baby Solo. But Baby Solo is gotta be the new tribal chief. Because and now that's why I'm like, all right, now you can't have two fools and a mute. Because that's what it's looking like right now. Solo Suge Knight and Tama, mute Tonga, and Jacob. Nah, let Tama be just a little bit toned down of what we seen in New Japan. Let Jacob absorb all the Umaga energy and let him just be a pure mixture of nigga and himself.
But that still leaves out Tonga.
Tonga's just gonna have to be that. Let him be the mute. I'm fine with him being the new Solo. How Solo was. He ain't gotta say nothing. Just wrestle.
Like
they can't have two crazy people. Like we know all of them are crazy, but you can't have both of them. Like because the two crazy people are the two people that we know can out-talk Solo, and it's just dumb for them to both be crazy. Like somebody gotta have. If they sadistic, well, if they're this sadistic, they know how to show up and look styling and profiling. So they know how to dress. Like, come on now.
Something that I noticed that they have Tama doing a lot too is his God walk when he comes out. His God walk. They got Tama doing his God walk every time he comes out, yo. And it's like, if you're gonna have the man do his God walk, let him wrestle like God. Like right now, you got him literally just doing that, coming out smooth, Tama, and I'm like, yeah, that's my boy. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Fucking wild thornberry ass.
They had Solo pin Cody, so that tells us right off the bat we know what's about to happen in a few weeks. It's gonna be Solo versus Cody at SummerSlam. That is gonna be, because if you pin the champion, that automatically gonna get you a title shot.
It definitely is.
So after that match, and besides that, the big moment was John Cena announcing that he is gonna retire. I'm gonna miss John Cena. He also announced that
first of all,
it's not just gonna be, it's gonna be a big retirement tour, y'all. It's gonna start at the Royal Rumble. Everything that he said is gonna be his last is gonna be his last, but all 2025 is his last. So,
listen, Matt, you saw me in the chat. I was ready to have a fucking heart attack. That man said, I'm here to officially announce my retirement. Before anybody could put anything in the chat, I was like, no!
I mean, I love John Cena. I'd watch that dude. I watched that dude from the time I was in, what, 8th, 9th grade?
John Cena.
Now?
If we're going to go a list of my favorite wrestlers of all time, my top 3, my number 1 is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. My number 2, John Cena. And my number 3 is Bray Wyatt. So when my number 2 hit me with the, I'm here to officially announce my retirement, I was sitting in the house like, and he said my final match would be into. I said, oh nigga, you gonna do the year? Okay, cool. I'm cool. I thought you meant tonight. Oh no, I got time. All right.
No, man. As soon as he was going to be at the Rumble, and I started thinking about it in fantasy terms instantly, because I'm like, all right, do I want to pick up John Cena? And even before I asked y'all today, I'm like, all right, if he wins it, all right. Ooh, the Rumble. So that means I got to hold you all the way till January. And then, all right, you can do something at the Rumble. That's nice. But I'm just feeling like you're going to want to pay your respect to the business. You're losing.
You're putting over quite a few of these young talents that need to have that good rub. You're going to get your final. I'm thinking he wins his first match and his last match.
Well, now, what I think could happen. Now, if they really want to go all out, if they really want to, they want to do it big. Since he's
don't you mention that? Year. Don't you mention what I think you're gonna mention, because we damn sure didn't take him. So don't you mention what I think you're gonna mention.
Oh no, I don't.
That damn record.
I don't think they could give him the record. Now, see, this is the bad part. You got to think. I'm only thinking about it till April, till 4/19 and 4/20. Do we really think they're going to give John Cena from January to April, where they already got their plans figured out for what they want to do? You think he's going to be like Hulk Hogan and be like, yeah, or you think he's going to be like Dwayne or Hulk Hogan and be like, I need the title? Or can they, since we know it's going to go 2025, they can do all that other shit on the back end? Well, I think what they could do, that man go win the IC title.
You know what I think they could do?
He hasn't won the IC title. That's the one title he hasn't won. He's going to win the IC title.
You know what I think they could do? if they really wanted to give him the record,
I think he's going to break the record, but I think that's going to be on the second half of his retirement tour.
They could actually let his last match be him winning the title, and he retires right there. Like,
and by that point, we will be in a new season.
Like, I think that's what they could do, and if they did that, if he won it and retired it the same day, like, all right, I'm retired, I'm vacating it, I want it, thank you, I appreciate it.
If he does, he gonna do what Bret Hart wanted to do. That's all that Bret Hart wanted to do it at Survivor Series. Let me beat Shawn Michaels in front of my people. The next night on Raw, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna vacate the title, and I'm gone. But Vince was a bitch and was in his feelings and thought, oh, he gonna go to WCW with it. He wasn't. He just wanted to get a win in front of his people. But shout out to Shawn Michaels. That's Shawn Michaels lover. Like, hey, we here. We again.
So overall, because we didn't spend way too much time or money in the bank.
Right. Heatwave, though. Everybody said Heatwave was the better show, and it was. Kalani and Sol Ruka, they showed the
fucking show. Stole the fucking show.
They showed out. The show. That whole show was just a showcase of their NIL program. Because
listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Me and Matt had the same exact. Let's go through the rundown real quick.
Like we started off. I'm gonna skip.
We started off with me and Matt both going, well, when the fuck did Ariana get these titties?
Yeah, I've always noticed them because of how she dresses. It's just like, as much as I tried to just be like, yo, I'm just trying to watch you wrestle. That day, yesterday, yeah, they was giddy. They was just going. I was like, dang. And then they won the match. I was like, none of us picked out a win. So I already know this is about to be a not good night for me.
Right. Ain't not a damn one of us thought that that Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace was going to be JC Jane and Jasmine next.
And it was Ariana Grace. She's from Toronto, so they gave her
the both from Toronto.
Win. Oh, yeah. They gave them both the hometown win, so shout out to them. Then we started off the main card with Wes and Obafemi. This was what I was like, all right, Lord.
Listen, Oba should not have been. I was dying at my man Vic. My man Vic said, that's a grown-ass man, Oba just threw. He was tossing Wes's ass all over the damn place. That helicopter spin that he tossed West into.
Somebody was like, did he just do a super F5? And I said, yes.
Mm-hmm. That man did an F20. Because that's how many times fucking West spun in the goddamn air. At least 4 times. So that man hit an F20.
I don't know if I tweeted it or not, but I always say it. My favorite thing to see in an Obafemi match is him showing off his shot put skill.
And he shot putted West's ass all over the goddamn ring.
Like, that's literally all he does is just boom.
And guess what? That's exactly what happened to West. West put up a good fight, but in the end, Obafemi defeated him. So with that, Wesley can never challenge for the title as long as Obafemi is champion. And apparently this Tuesday, West is going to address his next movements. TNA.
My ass said in the chat.
Win or lose, nigga, take your ass to TNA.
And then I said, you better take your ass to TNA. They're like, I know. Then I say, then they said that. I said, I know he can go do. Say he better go review food with his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Cousin Keith
Lee. Next up was the match of the night: Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka.
My
These women
baby.
put on an absolute spectacular showcase of the young talent that NXT has. That, mind you, they are both still developing. They
Right.
aren't at their top level yet. They are both still developing. And these two women showed out. Even Ricochet mentioned, damn, it looked like a young me and Will Ospreay out there.
Like, some people hated that match, and I just stared at them like, hey, how you gonna hate on just, first of all, the match was just good as hell.
Right.
Bonnie, like, if y'all, like, honestly, if you was hating on that match, you just haven't been watching NXT, because the fact that you got somebody who torn their ACL and they're doing the things they're doing still
With the knee
with
brace.
a brace on is ridiculous. And then you got
Right.
my baby girl, Kalani. Everybody was like, man, everybody was looking like, besides her music and her like, she just got to get better music and she got to learn how to cut a promo. Mello is going to help her with that. Man, the girl can wrestle. She can do
really can.
She can basically do everything that RVD can do. Like, she does all the same stuff he can do.
These two women put on a hell of a goddamn match, a hell of a show, and I am glad that both of these women are going to be representing the future of women's wrestling. Period.
Like, on top of that, Reggie, that not only is the PC a great idea, the best thing that could have happened is NIL. They were finding out Obafemi came from Alabama. Kalani Jordan came from Michigan State. I didn't even know Sol Ruka came from Oregon. But once they said that, I was like, oh, it makes sense. You look like somebody from Oregon.
Right.
Trick. He ain't no professional. He came from the UFL.
South Carolina.
Right. He came from South Carolina and the UFL. Like, he came out of a defunct spring football league. Like, Mello was the only person who was on the Indies. Wesley was the only person on the Indies. Like, mostly, if you think about this card, if you take out Mello, a lot of these people are all college kids.
And Mello ain't even on this card.
And Mello ain't even on the card. That's why I say you take out Mello, a lot of these people on here are all college kids. Braun, even though he is a Nepo baby, he went to college and he failed out of the NFL.
Where'd you go? Our next matchup, in a surprising win, I'm not gonna lie, did not see them winning. Nathan Frazier and Axiom defeated Chase University, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson.
Will we finally get our actual wrestlers?
Here's the thing. If people don't like Andre Chase, then y'all are crazy. That man puts out and puts on a show every time he gets in the ring. He really, really does.
Yeah.
You gotta start giving Andre Chase his goddamn props. Give him his flowers.
They were out to prove, like, they were out to get another tag title reign. Like, I was hoping they would win at one point, and then I'm like, nah, let it. Then once Axiom and Frazier won, I said, okay. Like, I picked them to win because at this point I'm like, I don't know who could beat them. I have an idea. I brought it up in our chat.
Yeah.
But that's the only other people I can see. But I don't know who could defeat them. And at this point, let them just keep winning. If you don't know who can beat them, there's no point in just putting it on anybody. Just let them keep winning until you can figure it out. And that's what I feel like HBK is doing.
Right. Because also, I'm not going to lie. Like, we've said this a million times. For the first time in a long time, the tag division in NXT is weak.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing that is a shocker because the tag division in NXT since the beginning has never been weak.
Right.
Like, they have always produced tag teams from the Vaudevillians to Bates and Fandango. Like, they have produced tag teams. Like, that's some AOP, American Alpha, the Revival, just DIY, TM61. Like, they have always had tag teams. So the way that division looks right now is very concerning, to say the least.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. It's just like Axiom and Frazier aren't
They're
bad.
not bad.
It's just like
They're not bad, but they shouldn't be top tier for that division.
right.
That's the thing about it.
It's just like, oh, I guess like y'all are literally the best they have to offer right now, and it's just
right. Next up in a really good match, really good match, and they can't keep this girl down there too much longer. Roxanne Perez, your champion, defeated Lola Vice. They can't keep Roxanne in NXT.
Oh, Roxanne, she's definitely, I would say by Survivor Series, she should be, or even sooner, she should be gone because her and Lola Vice had a good ass match. Besides that crazy ass promo last week, here's what my take on it. I don't know what the fuck did happen. That whole promo had me thinking her mama was dead.
Nope.
And then she said, "My mom."
I can't wait to call my mama.
And I was like, the first thing I said in the chat, so you mean to tell me her mama ain't dead?
And then she gonna shake her ass.
No, that her mama was dead. And she's like, I'm gonna call my mom. You gonna call? What you mean you gonna call? She ain't dead. All right.
And then I'm gonna shake my ass.
And then I knew that part was gonna happen. I knew that. That's anytime I call that instantly. Because I'm like, she gonna do that. Because you know who's asking for that.
We all
assistant to the assistant GM, assistant to the assistant.
We all ask for that, bro.
I'm over here as me. I'm right there by HBK. HBK, like I'm gonna do. Hey, Sean. Can she dance after that? Do I have to? Yes. And she likes it, don't you? Yeah. See. Win-win. And the
we
crowd
all winning.
So please.
But except for pretty much the little botch at the end where Roxanne was supposed to hit, I guess, 4 pop rocks in a row,
and she made up for it with that 5th one. Like, damn.
That last one, like I said that shit was personal because that last one had some oomph on that shit. I was like, oh, damn, Roxanne. Like, okay, you won. Roxanne destroyed Mola Vice. And finally, we get to our main event, the Fatal 4-Way match. Your champion, Trick Williams versus Javon Evans, Sean Spears, and Ethan Page. With Ethan Page, All Ego, coming out your new NXT champion after Trick. First off, before we even get to that, Trick killed Davion.
Yeah,
when he pushed him off that rope.
Killed Javon Evans. He murdered him. But before that, he was the MVP of that show. I mean, his death, he had to die that way because he was doing so much. He was in everything. And Trick is like, nah, you got to go, little bro.
And then I don't know if Booker T and Vic, and no one played up on the fact that Toronto is Sean Spears' country. That was his hometown. Low key, that crowd was cheering and rooting for Sean Spears. When he hit Javon in the back with that chair, that crowd went crazy.
Like that. None of us thought Ethan Page would have won. And
he won the best way possible he could have won without anyone looking bad. Trick knocked out Javon with the Javon with the trick shot knee. His ass is unconscious. Then he turns around and hits All Ego with the same move. His ass is unconscious. And Ethan falls on
And when it happened, I instantly was like, I hate this ending. And one of the podcasts I listened to, one of the hosts, he said, "Oh man, HBK was in his callback bag tonight," and I'm like, "What fucking callback is that bullshit?" And someone was like, "Backlash 2007," and I said, "Oh, no wonder," because I was on the super. I can't believe this nigga John Cena keep fucking winning. HBK needs one more damn title reign. I just want one more, baby. And that was right after WrestleMania 23. So I'm like, we need one more. We just need one more. Give me one more, please. HBK, Sweet Chin Music's the fuck out of John Cena. John Cena's falls on top of Randy Orton. HBK is Sweet Chin Music uses his last little bit of energy. While the ref is counting, he recovers, but he recovers at 2.5. By the time he can jump over there, the ref has already counted 3. So HBK is like, John Cena don't even know he just retained his title. And that's what happened with Ethan Page is sleep. Oh, when he wakes up, he's like, I'm NXT champion. And he's like, I told y'all I was going to win. I told y'all. Trick is looking at Shawn Spears like, you bitch. You pulled me out the ring.
Right. So, and here's the thing. When it happened, I was like, oh, shit, Trick lost. But then, like I said, like I've been telling y'all, I said, remember, the main roster was very big on the reaction that Trick had that one time he showed up. And I kept saying, yo, Trick is going to be on the main roster by SummerSlam. And y'all like, nah, maybe Survivor Series. This man just lost his belt. He ain't winning it back. SummerSlam.
I don't think he's showing up not no less than a month. He's not showing up in the main roster. I think if we saw what they did with Melo and Braun, and he might.
But see, here's the thing. They want to continue the feud that he already has with Melo too. So it's not like he's coming in with nothing to do either.
Because
that's the thing.
Because when I thought about it, I'm like, I don't think he's coming to the main roster. Because there's a lot of stuff they can still do with him. They took the belt off of him. You can have him chase the belt again. I said it on Twitter. I think this is like after Javon Evans showed out, this is just the road to NXT coming to the CW and Javon Evans being the next NXT World Champion. Like Ethan Page is about to be, he is, if you think about it, he is the edge to John Cena of Trick. He's just meddling. He's just meddling.
Ethan Page also, low key, is the old head.
Right.
Him and Shawn Spears are basically the old heads. So, I guess you got a good point.
Well, I can see Trick. Trick can be. He can hover around and chase around, and on top of that, if you think about it, now that Trick don't got a belt, and Oba is out here looking just beastly, I'll take Trick versus Oba for that North American title, so Trick can get a proper North American title run.
Right, and this shit was what, for a day? You know what? I can dig it. I can dig that.
And then by at least like January, I feel like Trick is gonna show up by the Rumble. Because we're gonna get that, whoa, that Trick. What?
Overall, WWE, you put on a fantastic PLE weekend.
Right, they showed out for America, for Canada.
You got, plain and simple, you got new people watching. You got your old fans back into your product. You even got your old fans who was not into your new product in NXT now into your product of NXT. So you had a absolutely great weekend. Before we get into going over Raw real quick, because there's only 4 matches that's been announced. The one thing I do want to bring up is after the PLE, John Cena said he would do a press conference where no question was off limits. Someone brought up Vince McMahon, and boy, was that fucking question off limits.
Yeah, he said.
He said, "I will answer any and every question that you have." Come on, guys, I'm going over. I'm here. Somebody said, "Well, now with Vince, and going blah 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 blah." He said, "I think I've said my piece on that before already. There's no need for me to repeat that. If you want to know about that, I'm sure you can go dig that up." Yeah, next question. I thought everything was off limits, John. You just said nothing is off limits, and the first question they asked you, you put off fucking limits. Stop it, John. Stop it, Johnny.
Triple H learned how to say it. He should have said it all them months back when they asked him the first damn time, but you live and you learn. At least he knows now. But Raw, let's get into Raw. It's only 4 matches, like Kenny said. We're going to finally have the debut of our favorite tag team, our favorite lovers. Our women's world champion, Liv Morgan, is going to team up with her dirty Dom.
Dirty
Dom. And they're going to battle Ray and Zelina, the LWO. So that should be an interesting match, hopefully. Mommy might appear, hopefully. We're also going to get the Judgment Day, Finn Balor, JD, our World Tag Team Champions.
And Carlito and our dirty pervert uncle.
Carlito, they gonna team up against Braun Strowman and Awesome Truth. So that's gonna be a match. Then we got Lyra Valkyria teaming up with Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, aka the Party Girls, because they don't want to name them that for some reason. And they're gonna take on Damage Control. So Damage Control, I don't know who's gonna win, but that's gonna be a good ass match. And then we're gonna have, this should be the main event. I don't see how it ain't. You gonna have Chad Gable versus main event Jey Uso.
And you know what? It damn sure should be the main event. And because should be the main event, you should have the Wyatt 6 come out so that way we can get Jay running away again. And you get Jay running away and you can get Gable dying all in one.
So we got those 4 segments. We got those 4 matches. We'll probably get some more. Drew McIntyre has also been suspended for after
indefinitely
everything. He's been suspended, but we still.
He's been suspended for when he elbowed Adam Pearce.
Right.
That's what got him suspended.
We'll probably get Braun Breaker, Sammy, Bronson Reed. We gotta get something.
We gotta get something going for that IC title.
Gunther should be coming back. Somebody. We'll get
right. Let's get my man Ludwig. Let's get my man Kaiser an IC opportunity out here, baby.
Right.
Let's give my man Kaiser an opportunity. Like right now, they're getting kind of stale in the IC division because they're really running it with Sammy, Braun, Bronson, and Gable. That's 4 people that they're using for this IC division right now. And there's quite a few other people. You can throw Kaiser in there. You can, there's a few, you can throw Andrade in that bitch. Like, there's a few people you can throw in that mid-card race. Like, let's do that. But I think that we have covered everything that we need to have covered today, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, we covered the whole weekend. That's why.
Sure did. That's why.
Action Monday. So shout out, thank y'all for staying in there for us.
Right, we appreciate that. Don't forget, folks, you can follow us at facebook.com/Under the Ring Pod and twitch.tv/Under the Ring Pod. You can also find us at fingertip.com/Under the Ring Pod. And of course, our linktree/Under the Ring Pod. There you'll find Jelly Roll himself, Mr. Greg Mongo Roll himself, Mr. Greg Bush SK. You'll find me, your champion, the Warhawk Carlito Rock Ribs 44. You'll find Mike at Mr. Freshbeard, the man with the band in his hand, the final Matty, the right answer, Street Team Captain Boria Maliente, and of course our special local correspondent Justin D. Baxley. Thank y'all for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Whatever you're doing tonight, make sure you stay safe, make sure you remain calm, and don't forget, just hey, do the dawn, whatever you do. Do the dawn.
Hey, do the dawn. Shout out Frank Thomas.